Happy Thursday afternoon. Kicking it live. What's everyone up to? I got out of work early, so I decided to see what's going on. See what's going on in see what's going on around here. I got a new I got Streamlabs. I'm trying to see if this picks it up. See, it's kind of weird. Trying to, when you use Streamlabs and you're broadcasting across different platforms, I'm trying to understand why I can't get my chat. Like if someone sends like if you're using let's say Streamlabs, and you're doing Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. If someone sends you a message on YouTube, I can't see it on the app. So I tried to change it up a little bit, and I'm still not getting it. I'm going to see if let me see, top chat, live chat. How about live chat? No. It makes me laugh that remember the whole Me Too movement? The whole Me Too movement where women were upset because they were being they felt that they were being taken advantage of and all this stuff. Now you go on these platforms like YouTube live stream, Twitch, and all they do is exploit themselves for clicks. That's all they do. Yeah, I'm going to exploit myself. I'm going to exploit my body, exploit everything, just so I can get views. Like there's some woman, young girl. I get them on. I get it all the time. It comes across my YouTube feed. I don't know if my son's watching, but it's a young lady who's playing golf. Right? And she's wearing like body suits and her boobs are hanging out. And she looks like she's a good golfer, right? Listen, I worked at a golf course for years. Many, many years. And I've never seen anyone dressed like that, right? And I don't even know if some of the country club that I worked at, the private country club, they would never allow her to dress like that, to go out on their course. Never. Men had to wear collared shirts. You couldn't even wear a t-shirt on. You couldn't even wear a t-shirt. Oh, look at that. I got a chat. I got a message from, who's this? Twitch. Okay, it showed up on the thing, right? I'm doing it again. There you go. See, you can do Twitch, right? You do Twitch and you get it. But you go over here to, you do it over here on YouTube and you can't get it. Kind of weird. But you can get the chat. It's kind of ridiculous though, it's so small. But yeah, so it's beautiful South Florida right now. It's I don't know if the screen's too good. South Florida is beautiful right now. It's this morning it was in the low 70s. No, like the humidity was way down, so when you walked outside, it felt really cool. So that was nice. But it was real cool, and now it's a little cloudy right now, but not too bad. But yeah, I got up and I didn't even know what my schedule was, patient wise. When I woke up, when I woke up this morning, I had no idea. My wife looked at me. I was like, I don't even know what my schedule is. My wife looks at me and goes, "It is Thursday." I'm like, yeah, I knew that much. I knew. I knew, I knew that much. But when I went out to the car, I pulled my schedule, and I was only had one patient. Tomorrow is busier. I try to do that on Fridays. I'd rather have all my patients on Thursday, and then Friday I do try to do a lot of paperwork, and then finish it up Saturday, and then have Sunday to myself. But we'll see. I'm on YouTube. I'm just scanning through this and see what's going on. I don't know if they got I don't know if we got anything happening, maybe some soccer or something, but All Out Skateboard, man. Paul Hurtado, check him out. He's on Instagram. He did wonders for my son. He's a good friend. I just my son hasn't skateboarded in a while. He broke his arm while he was skateboarding, and then when he came back, he had a helmet on, thank God, but he suffered a concussion. Boys doing what boys do. He dropped into a bowl, and one of his friends dropped in and collided with him, and he sent him flying, and he hit his head, and it basically knocked him out. Let me see. The Lions have called the Lions might be calling up the Dolphins about a possible trade. I don't know. Possible trade. Sorry about the notifications, but I usually try to turn them off while I'm streaming, but I can't right now. Just in case work calls me or texts me. It's so crazy. You know what's crazy? I'm watching this thing, right? I'm watching this thing. I'm scanning through YouTube, and there's all kinds of lawsuits about illegal ballots. There could be illegal people casting illegal ballots. And I don't understand the whole thing, because when I was watching the confirmation hearings for Ken J. Brown, I think that's her name. I don't mean any disrespect. I don't really know her name, but she said that it is illegal for non-citizens to vote in our elections. So I'm trying to figure out how are they casting ballots if it's illegal? I don't know. Let me see. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? No idea. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? The Dukes of Hazzard. Anybody old enough to watch the Dukes of Hazzard? They don't even have it on rerun anymore because the car was named the General Lee. And on top of the roof, it had the Confederate battle flag on it, or one of the Confederate battle flags. So they won't be they won't show that on TV anymore on reruns. I never even thought twice about it. And I had friends that were Jamaicans and everything else that I grew up with in Florida, and we all watched it, and no one had a problem. The only people that had problems was the white activists. No one else cared. We wanted to see the woman wearing the Daisy Dukes, and she was an icon. Catherine Bach, was it? Her name was Daisy, I think, and she wore those shorts. And they call them the Daisy Dukes. They still call them Daisy Dukes to this day. No one has a problem with that, right? No problem with that. It makes me laugh. But what else here? What else? What are the topics? Let's cover some news topics, kind of slow. Let's see what we got going on. Kamala outfoxes Fox. So it's these, went into the belly of the beast, Fox News, and despite Bret Baier's best efforts to talk over her and only do Fox talking points. Yeah. While Kamala shreds Trump on GOP turf and PA speech. It's so funny watching these different takes on things. If you look at the Republican talking points, they say Kamala did lousy, and then if you look at the Democrat people, they say she did great. See, here's one. Sky News Australia. Game is up. Sky News host slams Kamala Harris as she bombs Fox debate. But then the other one says, let's see. 5 reasons why P. Diddy might take a plea in sex trafficking case. I know this might not be popular, but I say free P. Diddy. Free him. All these people, a lot of these people, were having a good old time at P. Diddy's parties. They drank they drank the champagne. they used drank his champagne, went to his house. Apparently, over the years, multiple parties, multiple locations. No one had a problem, right? Nobody had a problem with all that stuff. Now, all of a sudden, someone files a lawsuit. I get it. Someone files a lawsuit, and then everyone piles on. But everyone's nervous, right? Everyone's nervous because he might name names. Might name names. I would call everyone up to the thing. Yeah, I think it's all BS. She missed her ex while married. Her past does not. See this right here? Let's see. You know, it's funny. I think Google owns YouTube, right? Well, you can't. So there's something about Google bans X because X doesn't. They say X does not meet their standards, right? But if you put on YouTube, hello, look what the hell's going on YouTube. It's pretty amazing to me that they actually think. Okay, the platform YouTube is up to their standards. The same standards. Sure. See, they had no YouTube, or Google doesn't have any interest in X, right? They don't have any money tied up in it. So they ban it. Oh, what else did I hear today? What did I hear today? Something I heard. I didn't know what. I gotta think about it. I'm scanning through all this stuff and it got my mind distracted. Does Baylor football have any hope for making a bowl game? Brock offers FSU nugget of hope amid horrific offensive line. Notre Dame crushes Stanford. SMU football upsets win at Louisville. Let's see. Let me check out Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going down. Almost like a fake out. Come on, President Obama. That's wrong. Cowboys, disaster, and more. Stephen A. Smith. I gave you a controversial topic. I gave you a controversial topic. Is voting for someone strictly... Here we go. I don't have to do it. Here it is. Is strictly voting for someone because of their race, is that considered racist? Well, if you ask ChatGPT that, they call it, the program calls it problematic. It's problematic to vote for someone strictly out of race, because of race. All right? Imagine I was thinking about that the other day, because it's amazing how the political parties pander to specific groups of people, and it's strictly because of race, right? Strictly because of race. Kamala, Vice President Harris, gets a poll that that black men, right? Black men are abandoning her. So she goes and gives a speech where she says, you know what, we're going to give every black entrepreneur a $20,000 loan that is not, you don't have to repay it, right? And I'm like, what? I just was. I was like, what? Why? What do you mean? You know? So is that pandering? Is that bribing? Is that a bribe? Is that a bribe? I don't know. I just think it's not good. I think it's funny that they I think it's funny that people pander like that, right? Imagine if someone who was white came out and said, if they were interviewing someone who was white, right? And they said, well, sir, let me see. They're interviewing someone who's black, and they go, well, you know, I'm going to vote for John Doe because he's or she's a person who's of color and has grown up in my area, and he or she understands our struggles. Okay. And then what would happen if they interviewed someone who was white, and that individual said, I am going to vote for he or she because he or she is white and understands the struggles that I have gone through, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. It would be absolutely crazy. It would be, people would have a meltdown, right? They'd have a meltdown. And I just, makes me laugh. Or like today was in, so every month they have something, right? Every month. I was laughing the other day, I go, every month is something. It's Asian Month or Black History Month, Asian History Month. This month. Imagine if they had White History Month. Oh, or someone proposed White History Month. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, would there be an absolute... People would have a meltdown, man. People would have an absolute meltdown, right? And I'm just thinking, how dumb is that? How ridiculous is that? That people think that some of this stuff is okay, and it's like, you know. Remember during the whole thing that they wanted to tear down Mount Rushmore? They wanted to tear down Mount Rushmore. Right? But they didn't, they actually didn't get that far. And in Georgia, right, they wanted to tear down Stone Mountain. I've been there once. It's pretty cool. You know, I think, you know, people get into things a lot deeper than I get into it. I went there, I saw it. They had this mural I couldn't even tell you who the mural was. Just a bunch of people. I think it's a few people on horses. I don't know if it's a general. And they're upset about that, right? And then Mount Rushmore was the same way, and everybody tearing down all kinds of stuff. And I think that was during Trump, right? During Trump's presidency. They were doing all that. It wasn't under Biden. Everyone calmed down under Biden. Everyone lost their crap under Trump. Everyone lost their crap under Trump. And now, 4 years later, people might actually put him back in office. You know what? Hey, we thought about it. And we don't think we did. Maybe we didn't do the right thing. maybe we made a mistake. So yeah. So there's a possibility we might put you back. There's a good chance right now that we may vote you back in, because yeah, these two we're not too sure about them. Well, Biden's gone. You know. He was seen wandering around around the White House grounds. Couldn't find his way anywhere. And I can tell you this as someone who's a therapist and has worked in the movement disorders, people who have things that are wrong, okay? People who have issues. There was something, we talked about it where I worked. We talked about it many times, that there was something wrong with them. Everyone knew that. They were just hiding it. They were trying to hide it. He wasn't running the country. You know, he's not running the country. There's other people running the country. You know. You guys ever watched that show, The West Wing, right? The chief of staff is who runs the country, gives advice, and kind of tells the president what to do and how to do it, and what they should do, and then has to ask them for they have to make certain decisions because they need authorization from the president, but it's their, you know. Is ultimately they have to sign off on it, right? But yeah, Joe Biden's not running the country. And then Kamala was part of every major decision until she wasn't. Right? Until she wasn't. Until they found out that the polling, that people don't like it. She's like, no, you know what? I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Nope, wasn't me. I'm not Joe Biden. I sat there, I listened, and I was saying to myself, I don't like that, but he's the president. And then now Biden's pissed. Biden's pissed because he's rethinking everything now, right? That he got pushed out. You can still see when there's interviews with Pelosi and them that she doesn't like to talk about it. And Biden threw Harris under the bus when Harris was criticizing Ron DeSantis and his in the way he was handling the hurricane relief efforts. And Biden came out like the same day and said, "Hey man, you're doing great. You're doing wonderful." And as a Floridian, I can tell you, I mean, I think he's handled everything pretty well, you know. People have issues with him, you know, like he doesn't want to expand Medicare and stuff like that. Because he you know, they don't want to, there's an issue with funding, I guess, you know. They don't want to expand Medicare to you know, I'm not an expert on that. But the reason why they don't want to expand Medicare is, you know, who's going to pay for it? You know, we have a different type of country, you know. We don't have socialized medicine and all that stuff. We couldn't afford socialized medicine in this country. We have too many people. You know, a lot of these countries that have socialized medicine, you know, doctors don't make the amount of money that doctors make in other countries. You know, we doctors here make a hell of a lot more money. People in the medical field make a lot of money. You know, certain places in the world, doctors, they don't make the same amount of money as they do here. And some of these countries, they don't have the same training. You know, that's why a lot of doctors who I know of people, true story, I know someone, female, who is working here as a director of sales for a place. And in her home country, she works as a doctor. But this country does not recognize her qualifications. So there you go. You know. And I believe if she wanted to try to be a doctor here, she'd have to go through like medical school all over again. That's pretty tough. That you'd have to go through medical school. I'm watching a guy, he catches a 7-pound bass live streaming. And he's been walking around with it out of the water for like 4 minutes. And this thing's struggling to breathe. You know, if you're going to catch it and weigh it, you're supposed to do it as quickly as possible. And then return it to the water. Not prance around with it. You know, you're stressing the fish out. And they walk around, you know, they hold it by the mouth and it's vertical, right? You should hold the fish horizontal. You're supposed to support it. Whoa. He just tried to set the hook on it. He threw it back, he cast back in. Now he went to set the hook on another fish, and he yanked it so hard, I think the worm that he's using, went flying across to the other side of the boat. He's fishing from Lake Okeechobee. Oh, he's got one. I don't think it's as big as the other one. It's jumping around though. Jumping around pretty good. Yeah, it's not as big as the other one. Let's see how long he holds it out of the water. Let me see. 1550 on the count. He's looking, he's looking, he's looking, he's holding it. Well, he's gonna go weigh it. $30 out of the water. Yeah, he's putting it on a scale. Zeroing it out. $40 out of the water. Looks like a 2.5 pound. Yep, 2.02 pounds. That's what he just said. He's still holding it, almost a minute out of the water. Looking at the camera, holding it up. Look at me, look at me. Turns and throws it back in. The fish was out of the water for a minute. And he threw it back in. All right. Back on his perch, trying to pick what type of rod he's going to use, or is he moving? Excuse me. Oh, he's pulling his. Okay, yeah, he's moving. He put his rods away, pulling his trolling motor. And I'm having an elbow problem. I don't know what I did. I don't know if it's a nerve problem or what. But it's bothering me. Let's go over here. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin's kind of just hanging out. Bitcoin's just hanging out. All right. I think, it looks like a computer here. Manchester United. I think they played today. Let me see. Manchester United. Oh, Lord. No, they don't play for a couple more days. They don't play for a few more days. Guys cruising along Lake Okeechobee here. The biggest lake, freshwater lake outside of what? Is it Lake Michigan? And Let's see. Boy, the election's getting nasty, man. The election is getting nasty. Lawsuits are already flying around. How are non-citizens on the well, I never thought about it, non-citizens being on the voter rolls, but there was a big push, been a big push by the states to sign people up to vote. Especially where I live in Florida, Broward County. They got tired. They were only having like 60% turnout. They had like 60% turnout. And they didn't like that. They wanted more turnout. And so what they did was they started like, when you signed up for your driver's license, you were automatically signed up to vote. Right? And they looked at that all the time. They were like, "You're automatically signed up to vote, whether you wanted to or not. You were signed up." And then I remember when absentee ballots, mail-in ballots, absentee ballots, however you want to say it, right? They didn't. Some people didn't want to do it, right? So like, how can we increase that? So what they did was they made it easier. So you had no excuse voting, absentee ballots. Then they started paying for the postage to mail it back. Like I have my ballot sitting over there, and I don't have to get a stamp. You don't even have to work. I always thought, voting should be is a privilege. It really is, because they say it's a right, but it's not a right, because if you break the law or something, they can take your voting away from you, right? So it's actually a privilege to vote. So they can take it away. So what happened was people didn't want to work for it, right? I think you got to work for it. I think you have to make an effort. You need to get the freak out of your house to vote. You got to do something. But what did they do? You can get it mailed to you. Postage paid. So all you got to do is fill it out and put it back in the mail. Right? They spoon feed you. So you don't have to work for it. We had a guy, he was Colombian. I knew him. Nice guy. And he was like voting, or no, citizenship. And he was a citizen. And he told me about everything that he went through to become a citizen. And he's like, it has to be worth something. It just can't be handed to you. It needs to be, you have to work for it. And I remember the conversation I had with him, and I thought it was just unbelievable how he described it to me. I could never put into words or explain to you how he said it to me. It would never sound right. But It's unbelievable. And I believe it's got to be worth something. It just can't be handed to you. You just can't come here and just do whatever you're going to do. Sneak across the border, come in illegally, and just think it's okay. And that's what Biden did. Biden just handed it over. Mayorkas, and they can't run from it. I mean, it's like the people who were coming across the border with shirts on that said Biden told us to come, and then Mayorkas went on TV and said, "Oh, we got rid of 90 executive orders that restricted the flow." And then Harris comes on and says, Donald Trump killed our bill. No. You killed his executive orders that had... And it's not... You can go online, man. Just do your own research. You can go online. And you can see... you can see what hold on. You can go online and see the numbers. You can see the numbers. You can see those numbers. You can see how many border crossings there were. Under Trump, I thought I saw 2.8 something million, and I rounded up to 2.9 million in 4 years. And under Biden, in like 3.5, maybe 3 years, almost 10 million documented by the government. Documented 10 million. Compared to 2.9 million under Trump in 4 years, they did almost 10 million in only 3 years. It's not even close. All right. What else? Well, I think that's it for now. I actually got to do some work. But I hope it's all good. I'll catch up with you guys later. All right? Y'all be good. See y'all later.